everybody on YouTube, it's your boy the Mem608, and I am pleased to announce that I am finally back on YGOPRO. It has been a long and hard journey. My computer is a piece of junk, and it was just, for some reason, YGOPRO did not want to work for me. But I'm finally back, and I owe all of you an apology for taking so long and making y'all wait. And so, I've come up with the Kuribo Lynx era deck list, and I'm going to dedicate this episode to all of my current subscribers. You guys are the reason I keep making videos, and this video is all for you. So, let us start. As you can see, our main deck is, for the most part, the standard Kuribo build as I made last year. Sadly, the main deck Kuribo has not gained a new piece of support. Except for the motivating captain over here, but we'll get into him later. So, for the most part, the main deck is the same, except for one or two things. The biggest differences are going to be in the extra deck and the side decks. So, for the main deck differences, as I already mentioned, we got motivating captain. He's basically an additional King of Bio that does not go back to your hand. I mean, King of Bio is such good support for Kuribo. Why not throw in one or two of these, you know? Also of difference, we've got this Shuffle Reborn. You can replace this with Monster Reborn if you prefer, but I prefer Shuffle Reborn because its effect to shuffle cards back into your deck and give you another draw, I feel helps out in tight situations. And of course, we also have Burial, which is at 2 now. That way you can use your Kuribo's effect up to 9 times, okay? The recovery of Kuribo has never been stronger. So let us dive into the extra deck, as that is the main meat of this review. As you can see, we are still mostly Xyzs. We've got 2 Assembled Nightingales. We've got 2 Sylvan Princess Sprites, 2 Slackers. We got our 3 Lionhearts. And we have downgraded 1331 to 1 apiece. We've got 1 Firewall Dragon. Yes, this deck can pump out Firewall Dragon quite easily. Wouldn't you use Multiply on a Kuribo? You can get 5 tokens, and tokens can be used to make Firewall Dragon. We've got ourselves a Proxy Dragon, which helps us get out 1331 if you combine it with one of our 2 Link Kuribos. You can also put in a Decode Talker if you feel like it. That also works to getting out these 2. Whatever you feel like. You can make a whole Link spam focused Kuribos if you want, which is why we got another Multiply in the side deck over here. Just as you've noticed, this deck is, of course, the Kuribo Xyz formation. We're going to just summon all these Kuribos. They're going to get in the graveyard real quick, and we're going to bring them back and make a bunch of Xyzs and things. And we're just going to stall out. We're going to beat down. We're going to do all sorts of things. So let's go to the side deck and mention some of the other things. As I said, there's a Multiply for Link spamming. We've got Stoic Challenge and the Twin Swords of Revealing, or Twin Swords of Flashing Light, I'm sorry. These cards go alongside our 2 boss monsters, Assembled Nightingale and Lionheart, for what I like to call the Kuribo TK sort of variant, where you summon out one of these 2 monsters and give them one of these 2 equipped spells. We give Stoic Challenge to Assembled Nightingale and Swords of Flashing Light to Lionheart to deal just massive damage. Now, if you find yourself in a match situation and you're finding your opponent's just negating all your things, just being total downer, of course, you could put things like Solemn Strike. I didn't put it in the main deck because Kuribo doesn't like to pay too many life points. And we also have the Cursed Seal of the Forbidden Spell. This is a counter trap which allows you to discard a spell, which you see we have a lot of, in order to negate a spell your opponent activates, and most importantly, they cannot play that spell or any other spell of the same name for the rest of the entire duel, which is pretty dang good. I'm surprised it's not used in the meta more often. I'm sure there's a reason, but I can't for the life of me think of it. So also we've got a Creature Swap, which is a nice first turn option if your opponent just plays 1 big monster. Not totally, it doesn't happen all the time in the meta these days, but sometimes it does. And so if you summon one of your Kuribos and then you switch them, imagine if your opponent summons like Antimatter Dragon. Imagine if they summon Lackluster Soldier or some crazy Synchro. There's so many options I can't even think of them all. Of course, we got our Soul Charge, is still a 1 of. I still like Soul Charge and Kuribos, but not as much because we do need those life points. And sadly, Kuribo is one of those decks that has been hit by a little bit by the Link format. can still do good things, but, you know, link format hurts a little bit until we get more main deck support. Of course, we've also got the traditional winged Kuribo level 10 transcendent wing combination. You can always put those in there. I don't myself, only for the fact that winged Kuribo level 10 is such a famous bossy monster that pretty much everyone and their mother knows what it is and what it does. And of course, if you're up against lots of burn, our good old friend Kuribo is coming back here in the side deck. Put him in if you find yourself against, what's the band? Yeah, Trickstars are still kind of a burn deck. They got a lot of new things now. So they're not 100% burn as they used to be. So that is the Kuribo deck profile, and that means gonna have new duels with Kuribos. In fact, I've got a replay against a Brandish Maiden player. That's gonna be an exciting one. But even more important to that, I have an exciting announcement. I am going to be, well, it's going to start next week. Unfortunately, I have to go down out of the state to do some things, and I'm not going to be able to do any dueling. But in the meantime, I am going to start what I like to call the 100 days of Yu-Gi-Oh! That's right. Starting June 11th, I am going to be playing a different deck, 3 duels every day, for 100 days. That is right. And I have started making up my decks, but you, my viewers, have the opportunity to name a deck, whatever kind of deck, and I'll give it some, some decks I'll do, some decks I might not do, some decks I might have already thought of, but you can, leave whatever deck you'd like to see done, and I will give it a shot. So, leave that in the comments section, what deck you'd like to see. Thank y'all for watching this episode. I am so glad to be back doing on YGOPRO, bringing y'all some content, and y'all have a good day. Thank you, everybody.